Good evening, friends and family, and thank you for coming to another night with Behind Black Business, which is our podcast here at Repair, Restore, and Grow Black Communities. And we have a wonderful guest here. We have Rick from Poppin Donuts. And Rick, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to talk to us about
Yes,
what
ma'am.
you're doing in the community. Absolutely. All of our business people are very busy. So, it's challenging for them to come to us. And so, but the information that they have is very important. And as you know, we are a nonprofit organization and we are working to uplift our communities by helping to circulate dollars in our communities. And the best way to do that is to support our Black businesses because
Yes,
those
ma'am.
dollars will find their way back, to bringing resources in our community. So just like all the other ethnic groups are supporting their businesses, we have to support our businesses.
Yes,
And
most.
absolutely. And as you know, we are big proponents of our Black bookstores. Um, we used to have 22 Black bookstores, and we were down to two. But we do have a resurgence of Black bookstores here in Chicago. And so we feature a Black bookstore on our website every month, and this month, it's two authors actually that have started writing books, ASA Books. You can go to their website at asabooks.org, and they have four children's books that we are giving away in our book giveaway for this month. And so all you have to do is subscribe to rrgbc.org to be eligible for those books. This is the holiday. You're spending insanely amounts of money, insanely amounts of dollars out there. Spend money with Black businesses. And books are wonderful gifts. Those are gifts that people can always have and pass on. We're continuing to work on our public policy piece where we want our public schools and our libraries to give contracts to our Black bookstores. And so here at our RGBC, we do a lot of things to help our businesses here in the community. And so that's our mission. And so tonight, I asked Rick to come on because I understood that he has a food truck. And the way I heard about you, Rick, is you were actually catering for a friend of mine with
Y-
your truck. And it just made me think about the many trucks that are out here. Um, all of them aren't food trucks, but this is another industry that we have, and I don't know if people pay too much attention to this industry and how long it has been in this country.
Yes.
Absolutely. So I would like you to take this moment to just introduce yourself to the community, popping donuts, and let us know who you are.
Well, my name is Richard Gray. I'm the co-owner with my wife of Poppin Dough LLC, located at 1235 West 95th Street. We do popcorn, donuts, shave ice, nachos, and tacos. We've been in the community about. Actually, we've been in the community for over maybe about 15 years. It started out, we had a barber shop there. My son was a barber.
Mm-hmm.
And when my son transitioned out of the space and we had an empty space, um, me and my wife decided to open up a popcorn and donut shop because we were both in in the industry with children. She was a preschool teacher and had a daycare. And I
Mm-hmm.
worked with children with learning disabilities and behavior disorder for 25 years. And I
Okay.
did retirement and we opened up Poppin' Dough.
Okay, so how did you select the items that you are offering on your truck? You say you have the shaved ice.
Hmm.
Um, You have popcorn. You have donuts.
And donuts. Yes, ma'am. Well, one day I guess my wife was we had the store, it was empty, and because my son had moved on from barbershop, and we just enjoyed food, enjoyed donuts on 103rd, which is a wonderful place. Mr. Bullock, old fashioned.
Okay.
Uh, we enjoyed that, and my wife always loved popcorn on 119th. Let's get it popping, I think it is. Oh, what's
Okay.
pop? And we were trying to toss around ideas of things that we really wanted to do, and those were two of our favorite places.
Okay.
We got together, we talked about it, and she one day I came home and she said, "Well, let's what you think about popcorn and donuts?" And I said,
Hmm.
That sounds like a good combination." She said, "Well, I already had a name for it." And I said, "What's the name?" She said, "Poppin' Dough." Pop,
Okay.
popcorn and
Okay.
dough.
Wow. Now, how did shaved ice get in there?
Well, we was in Texas, and we got lost in the airport, uh,
Okay.
out in Texas, and we got lost in the airport, and we just happened to hit this gas station. And there was this wonderful lady in there, and she was selling shaved ice. And
Okay.
my wife went in and asked her. She was real nice. She allowed us to come in and learn, and her to come in and learn while we were there, in Texas, and that's how we came over shave ice. And shave ice is such a different thing.
Okay.
It originated actually in New Orleans from
Okay.
shaving the ice, shaving down the ice with a machine instead of out the bag like we do here in Chicago. It actually shaves off an actual block, which makes it softer and which it makes it snow. It actually makes it hold on to the flavor. And
Okay.
we were able to learn how to mix our flavors and do different things like that.
Okay. So, what types of donuts do you offer?
Well, we offer the standard glazed and chocolate, strawberry, lemon, pineapple, but also started doing a lot of different cake donuts that I don't think many people do. Like I do a butter pecan now. I do a Jamaican rum cake. I do a lemon cake. I do
Mm,
uh, a strawberry cake. I do different type of cake donuts now.
okay.
Um, that's one of the things that I think kind of separate us a little bit. Those variety of cake donuts that we do, and a German chocolate cake also too.
Oh, a German chocolate cake or German chocolate cake donut?
German chocolate cake donut.
Wow. Wow, those are different.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Wow, that's different. So you have all these different interesting different types of donuts, and I'm sure they're delicious. Do you bake them or you cook them yourselves?
Yes, ma'am. We do it every night. If you ride down 95th and it just so happen to ride down at 1 o'clock in the morning, you'll see me in the window cutting donuts, making them fresh every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you sell them out of a store as well,
Yes,
or just
yes. We have a store at 1235 West 95th Street.
okay? twelve
Right,
thirty five West 95th.
right.
Okay.
Like
All
95th and
right. That's 95th and
Elizabeth. It's like in between Racine and Troop.
okay. That's not in Beverly.
No, it's before Beverly. It's
It's
before
before them. Okay.
Mhm.
We've been identifying different thoroughfares of businesses here in
Mhm.
Chicago, and I've noticed. I mean, 95th is a busy street anyway. I
Mhm.
mean, however far you go, east or west, but there is a very strong thoroughfare of Black businesses running through there, even all the way up to Beverly.
Yes,
A lot of nice Black-owned businesses.
yes. There's been a nice influx in the last few years of Black
Okay.
on 95th Street, trying to grow 95th Street. If you go from if at one time you go from Ashland to Halsted, there was nothing in between Ashland
Okay.
and Halsted. You either had to go to Ashland, you had to go to Halsted to get something, and there wasn't Black-owned businesses.
Okay.
It's starting to be a great influx of beautiful, wonderful Black-owned business, from clothing to food to, I mean, a lot of different things, jewelry, a lot of different things that you need. It's just
Absolutely.
a wonderful situation because it's not
Absolutely.
like getting up and coming to the store and seeing someone that look like you. You know,
Absolutely.
that's so important. It's so important because when you go to other neighborhoods and other ethnic groups, they have their stores. I mean, you go to Hispanic neighborhood, they have Hispanic, stores, or Indian neighborhoods, they have Indian stores, and they have them in there. So they get their kids get to see them when they come. So they expect that that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to grow
Absolutely.
own businesses. So
That's
it's
right.
so important for our kids to be able to go see someone that looks like them,
You are
to know that
absolutely
they
on point.
can do things other than what the normalcy of things to do. They
That's
can
right.
bring something positive to the neighborhood instead of the negative that they think that some people think that we bring.
And Rick, so many people that have been on our podcast have picked up businesses and that whole business acumen from their parents
Hmm.
who own businesses.
Yes, ma'am.
We often hear that, and that is what our children need to see us doing. And then
Yeah,
if you have a business, then you're more likely to do business with other Black people as well,
exactly.
for the service, because you need services.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hmm. That's
Mm.
right. And so that's why that is so important. So you have all of these wonderful flavors of donuts. I've never heard of a German chocolate cake donut.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, but also you have popcorn.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
what types of popcorn do you have?
Well, we do the gourmet popcorn. We do just we do the regular cheese and caramel. Then we do
Hmm.
a cheesy caramel. We do a buffalo ranch popcorn. We do a bacon cheddar popcorn. We do a cheddar barbecue popcorn. We do a Guadalajara popcorn, which is nice and spicy. And we do a poppin' hot cheese. We do a we one that we created called Popalicious, that
Okay.
you won't get anywhere else. We do a sour dill popcorn that people love.
Mm.
Sour dill and the hot kind of reminds you of the having the peppermint and the or the
Oh,
hot
and this the peppermint and the pickle.
inside the pickle. Oh, and people love that. Um, and yeah, so we have actual green apple popcorn. We make sour grape popcorn. We make
Okay.
strawberry popcorn. So we make a cinnamon crunch popcorn. So we make a good variety of popcorn. And one of the wonderful things about shopping with a smaller business, not smaller business, is that we make we make our stuff constantly fresh because we don't make bulk quantity. So you won't walk in there and there's 30 bags or 40 bags of popcorn. So most of our popcorn, I mean, all our popcorn is fresh because we don't make great
Hmm.
big quantities of it. It's not mass produced. So you walk in there and you get popcorn just absolutely fresh.
Now, what made you decide to go? eh, Actually, with the truck, you're creating an extension of
Exactly.
your brick and mortar. So what made you decide to do that?
Well, a lot of customers, they live far. A lot of people come from out of the neighborhood and they
Okay.
come to it. And I've always wanted to be able to, bring it to them. Bring it to them to where, like, some people are at work and they can't always stop by, and they be wanting popcorn or something. So I wanted to be able to bring it to my customers and new customers, and get businesses. And people are always searching for ways to not to have to really go out and search out restaurants for food. And it's just nice to be able to walk downstairs from your business and be able to get something fresh right off, refreshing made right off the truck. And I know, and just like when the ice cream truck used to come by, when you get
Oh man,
ice cream,
you
so
hear the
with
music,
music playing
yeah, and go run in the house and get some money.
yeah, just brings a different excitement. Because even with the shave ice, I can do it right off the truck. So you can
Mhm.
get a fresh snowed ice, piled up to the top. We not light on our stuff, so you get plenty for what for your money, and you can get it right off the truck.
Okay. I was looking just a little bit into the history of food Well, they used to call them chuck wagons.
Mm-hmm.
This was back in the 1800s,
Mm-hmm.
and they would come to where the cowboys and the loggers were,
Mm-hmm.
and they would bring them beans and cured meat and coffee and biscuits and water and fire for wood
Mm-hmm.
because it wasn't readily available.
Right.
So the chuck wagon would show up, and then they started going to taking these wagons to some of our major universities now, like Princeton and Harvard. They
Mm-hmm.
used to bring sausages to the dorms, where the kids went to school. And then the first food truck that we really think about is that Wiener Mobile,
Okay.
Oscar Mayer.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the Oscar Mayer Wiener Mobile, and they advertised. So you had a dual purpose there, to
Mm-hmm.
advertise
Exactly.
and to sell your products.
Exactly. It definitely gives you the opportunity, just like when we were younger, and they had the juice man and they had the milkman, to
Uh-huh.
bring products to the neighborhood and be able to sell. Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right. And that makes it, that to me becomes competitive with the Uber and all of that, because things are being delivered to you, right? But
Exactly.
here you have the wagon, well, not the wagon, but the truck that pulls up, where the truck is in a certain location. So how do you do that? Well, let me back up. What areas do you go to? What areas would people find your truck?
Well, actually, last year we did a lot of festivals. We
Okay.
did festivals and stuff, truck vendor festivals and different things like that. So most of the time we were just out at festival, but this year we do plan on, finding stationary spots to be, and just traveling the city. Actually getting on Facebook and letting people know where we'll be, where they can meet up and they can get
Mm-hmm.
theirs. Or even if you work at a business and you desire to have us to come stop over by, if we can, because I know there's certain ordinance that you can't, around other restaurant businesses. But if you want us to stop in and drop in, and we will. We're
Now,
gonna.
what about schools? Are you able to go around schools?
Yes, yes, you're able to. A lot of time the food trucks will bag up or pull into the parking lot of the schools and the teachers and stuff, because a lot of time they don't have long enough breaks to get out and get, you know, good food and things like that. So yes, that's definitely a spot where our food truck would be. That way
Because
they
I
can.
know, I know the teachers would love it. You
Yes,
know,
yes, ma'am.
absolutely, absolutely. Now you have these items. Have you considered adding other types of items to your truck, or
Um.
what?
Well, actually, right now that's what we're doing, that, but we actually working on another trailer to be able to do all our popcorn exactly on there. So we have like the truck and the trailer to do that. And just for at this moment, that those are the things that we're doing. But we're definitely looking to expand to do even making donuts on the truck. So right now we just, I'm making them donuts in the shop and we're putting them on the
Oh,
truck. But even get to the point where we're making donuts actually on the truck, so you can get a hot glaze right out the fry.
mm-mm-mm. When I was in high school, we had cooks in my high school, and we used to get the different types of rolls in with the
Mm-hmm.
cheese in it or what have you, and they would heat them up.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of kids came to school early just so they could get those hot rolls in the
Mm-hmm.
morning. So nothing like a fresh, hot cooked donut.
Right, exactly.
Hmm. So for I see a lot of Hispanics with food trucks out, and maybe in some other areas, I'm seeing them. And how is the food truck industry moving as far as the Black community goes?
Oh, it's definitely picking up a pace. I mean, like you said, it used to be dominated by Hispanics with food
Hmm.
trucks, but it is definitely picking up space. You have a lot of new food trucks that's coming on the board, and they're cooking good foods. Um,
Okay.
and healthy foods. That's one of the most important. I know we like our sweets and all that, but you have definitely have a lot of healthy food trucks that vendors that's starting to build trucks and things like that.
Okay. So if people want to get salads and
Right, exactly.
I get
It's,
some greens and cornbread.
exactly. You can get they have a lot of trucks that's just doing wonderful things as far as healthy foods and vegan foods.
Mm-hmm.
Vegetarian foods and stuff like that. So you have a lot of people that's a lot of trucks that's coming out. Bull Truck is one of the ones that I know serve some good good fresh food. Um, it's another one called I think it's called Backyard Barbecue. Uh,
Okay.
they serve that, and then you got I-57. So you starting to have a lot of like I say a lot of black owned food trucks in the city
Mm-hmm.
of Chicago.
I was reading where a young lady, I think she's 29 years old,
Hmm.
and she went to Ghana and she started a food truck in
Hmm.
Ghana. which
Wow.
which I could see very very nice for people. And then if she wanted to go into some remote areas, would
Mm.
be really nice. So, but the nice thing about the food truck, I think, like I mentioned earlier, is not just the food truck, a food truck, but then you can sell other items because there was a young lady who came into I would see her regularly coming through Hyde Park, and she'd park her truck, and she had like a resale truck
Okay.
set
Mm.
up. And so you could come into the truck and you could look at the clothing, the way she had it. And a lot of it is about the design and how you set your truck up. But she
Exactly.
had it set up where you could come in and look at different types of items. They're very well organized. She had a mirror in there and a little area where you maybe could try something on. All of this was happening right on the truck.
Yeah, and there's also barber trucks.
Oh,
That,
really?
yes, that ride us around, and you can get on the truck and get you a nice haircut. There's a
Wow.
produce truck where you can actually step up on the truck by yourself and buy your fruit right off the truck, right off the stands. Like Alton's got it set up like stands on the side where you pick
Wow.
fruit off, put it in your bag, go to
Hmm.
the back of the truck, pay for it, and step right off the back.
Now, you have a brick and mortar, and
Mm.
your truck was an extension
Yeah.
of your brick and mortar. But for those people who are trying to get into business,
Hmm.
I'm sure it's less expensive.
Hmm.
Or maybe I'm wrong. You can correct me here. Where you're open to get a truck and run your business versus trying to actually get a brick and mortar 1st.
Well, trailers is a real good option for people.
Mm-hmm.
Trucks is expensive because if you serving food, you have to have vent hood and the fryers and things like that. But most of the time, when you have a trailer's a little more expensive. But even though you need a car to pull it or a truck to pull it, it's a little more easier going to get a trailer. But trailers and trucks are expensive, but the overall the overall cost of it, besides the brick and mortar, is definitely better because you don't have
Okay.
them overhead expenses. But
Okay.
you still have to be able to go to a what they call the shared kitchen.
Okay.
So you're not allowed to fix food at home and get on the truck like that. So you still have to have a foundation of a shared kitchen to be able to prepare your food.
So there's certain technology and certain equipment that you have to have on a truck.
Exactly. You
And
have
so
to.
what would that look like?
Well, it all depends on what you're doing. If you're doing any kind of frying, you definitely have to have, of course, your fry, but you have to have a vent hood. You have to have a fire safety plan. You have to have a suppression system, just in case there's a fire. And if you have if you're cooking by propane, you have to have your propane tanks and things like that. And when you're cooking like that and you have the propane tanks, you have to have an insurance policy for those propane tanks just in case anything happens, because most of them are posted outside the truck.
Mm-hmm.
So there is some expense, but like I say, overall, it's a great business because you move around. You're not sitting in one spot waiting for somebody to come in. You can go
Okay.
find your potential customers. Also, you can do a lot of great things in the neighborhood. Like I did one event where on the north side where they actually in their park district they get a blew up a movie screen, and they allowed the cars to park on the concrete and watch the movie. And I just sat there and served. They prepaid, and they just walked up to the truck just like it was a drive-in movie theater.
Okay.
So those are
Okay.
definitely a lot of things that I would love to do with the
Wow.
community this year, where they can just walk up and they can just get their food and they can sit out and watch a movie, or they can drive up and that. But I thought that was just a wonderful concept that they did. They all
Mm-hmm.
pulled in, they watched the movie, the kids came over, the adults came over and got, because we do tacos too, and we do tacos and nachos, and
Oh, okay.
they got popcorn and shaved ice, and it was all prepaid, so all they had to do was come up. So that was a great thing they did on the north side. So I would love to bring some of that to the south side and some of the other neighborhoods, on the west side, and bring that thing where they have something where the kids can come out and the adults can bring their children out like that. And that's very versatile for a truck, because now
Mm-hmm.
you have these different foods on there, and now they get to enjoy it and sit and watch a movie.
That's wonderful. And
Mm.
you can just bring the truck right
Yeah.
there to them.
Pull it right up to them and have everything ready for them to go.
Okay, so you have added nachos and tacos here. Okay, you
hmm
get the pickles with the peppermints in them. Have you ever done those?
No, no, I don't want to overwhelm
You don't
myself,
want to overwhelm people,
but,
huh?
but
But
the
you keeping it simple because
yeah,
I remember the guy used to have a trailer around our house when I was coming up, and the only thing he sold were the pickles with the peppermint sticks in it
mhm,
and the crushed up potato chips with
right,
you could get hot sauce.
yeah, and
And that's all he sold.
and that's the wonderful thing about doing a truck, because it's simple things. You don't have to be so extravagant with things. People want, they want things. They just want good food. They want good
Hmm.
food, and they definitely want good service, and they want it, available. So it definitely can be real simple. There's a snack truck that runs around that has Snickers and all the things that you get in the candy store,
Hmm. Hmm.
and so it can be a real simple thing, but it can be just like, it can be, where you can have steaks and different things. You can be real gourmet.
And see, the nice thing about it is you're preparing the food. See, so that cuts out a lot of this distribution and other people, even with candy. You got to buy the candy.
Right,
Candy is made at a at different
right,
candy factories. But
right.
here with your donuts and your popcorn, this is something that you're producing.
Exactly. It's not bought from any other person. So I know what goes in it, and everything. And I'm able to protect, my customers from any other secondhand other, any other secondhand person, So yes, that's definitely an advantage because you're getting it directly from the person.
Absolutely. Now, to set up these trucks to do what you're doing, is there any type of training that people would have to go through?
Well, far as the truck, or far as
Well, on both ends, the truck and the business part, because like driving certain kind of trucks, you have to have a certain kind of license, and I'm sure that preparing food for the public,
yes, well,
requires certain type of licensing and training.
yeah, you definitely have to have a sanitation license. You definitely have to take a sanitation course. And I do recommend going to a lot of these free business courses because it's
Mhm.
very, very, very important for you to understand what you're doing, how to sell your product, how to market your product.
Mhm.
In the beginning, like I say, me and my wife work with children, so we was in the food industry, um, and or the customer service industry, and you have to really, really, really understand um, your product, and you have to know
Okay.
your product's worth, and you have to know where you're gonna make money. So
Okay.
there's a lot of things that you have to really, really know those things. And sometimes we jump into things, just jump into it, and now we in it, and then we have to learn from our mistakes. But they got so
Mhm.
many great programs out here for you to get understanding about business. And I really suggest that you take those free courses. Don't
Mhm.
waste them. There's a lot of black owned entrepreneur courses that you can take and you can get involved in, um, that will lead you in the right way. Where you have people like me coming in and speaking about the things and the things they experienced and different things like that, and it'll be so helpful to you. That way, you don't have to go through some of the pains and growing pains that me like our business and other business have, because you have some knowledge of what exactly are you doing. Because it's not just as simple as jumping up, grabbing something, and selling it. You got to know your demographic of people you're selling to and different things like that.
So, what are some of the main things or what are some of the main flaws that people experience when they're opening up businesses?
One of them is access to capital. Uh,
Okay.
you know, as terrible as the pandemic was, it did allow for a lot of people to rethink their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the access to capital became a little bit better after those times. But in the beginning, access to capital, a lot of us, like myself, took money that we had saved, or we that we had in our 401ks or whatever, and we took it and we opened in our businesses. And then you try to make the business successful and put back what you borrow from yourself. And I just suggest that one of the things that you do is understand that you can use your money for collateral.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't suggest using your money, all your money. You use your money as collateral to get some money to start.
Okay.
That's just a better process for you, because the mistake I thought was when I first started it was that, oh, okay, I got money, so if I take my money to creditors, or if I ever need the bank will say, well, okay, you don't have any bills, so we'll be able to loan you something, you know. But that was a mistake, because long as you didn't owe no, you didn't have you built it on your own. You have no way of saying, well, okay, I'm credit worthy. I'm
Okay.
credit worthy to get this loan. I'm credit worthy to this, because you took your money and you financially did everything with it. So it's just better to start out. Just make sure you get your business LLCs and different formats of that. And use your money as collateral.
Mm-hmm.
Use your money as collateral to get yourself started, and look for these grants. There's a lot of grants that we wasn't available to us in the beginning.
Okay.
And that's the wonderful thing about now, that there's a lot of grants available, and there's a lot of resources available for you to start your own business.
Okay. Okay. So you mentioned COVID. Um, how did your business go during COVID?
Well, I ended up shutting down for a good part of it. I ended up shutting down for a good part of it, because you had to rebuild. Where in first in my business, you can just walk up. You can walk up. I had no glass. I have none of that. I had none of that stuff. So you can walk up and
Mhm.
order your thing. But after COVID, you had to have some kind of protection up there. Um, protect you from your customers from you, and you had to have some kind of protection up there. So we took some time out to do that. Um, it was rough. It was definitely rough. But God is always good, so
Sure.
I don't really, too much worried about that. But, it was pretty tough. And, God allowed us to weather the storm. And we worked hard. We when we could, we made popcorn and delivered it. That's really what part of the food truck idea came up with. Like, we
Okay.
still need to get our product to our people. So, we had customers calling us, hey, when y'all gonna get back open and this, that, and other. And we did delivery. We did delivery. We went in and we got together, we made it, and then, we drove it in our cars to different people and different things. We started shipping. We started shipping
Hmm.
popcorn because we had a lot of people from different states ordering popcorn. So that was another great avenue to help us get through.
Hmm.
But of course, the main thing was God.
Okay. Okay. Now I know you mentioned, a couple of ways that you, offer your service, but you do, I guess something also on the catering end, because the way I found out about you was from a friend of mine that was having an event at their house,
Hmm.
and they just had you to pull the truck up.
Yes, I mean, yeah, it was much easier than having everything set out and dining tables and different things like
Hmm.
that because they had no cleanup. I did
Okay.
all the cleanup, so I pulled up, I serviced their party, and there was no cleanup there. And it was prepaid, so all they had to do was walk up and order whatever they wanted, and they got it straight off the truck.
Okay. Now, do you hire other people out to assist you with with your business, or is it just you and your wife?
Well, it's me and my wife and my children when they were here. They
Hmm.
kind of moved around a little bit, but no, I mean, I do seek out. Like I said, I used to work at a therapeutic school, so there's a lot of children that I've dealt with over the years and stuff that would reach out to me and stuff. So I would give them an opportunity to come on come out with me and do some work. You know,
Okay. 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 So these are special needs children.
um, well,
Some.
therapeutic, yeah, therapeutic children,
Sure.
that has
Sure.
learning disabilities. You
Mm-hmm.
know, not too many of our kids have physical disabilities,
Sure.
but yeah, they're therapeutic day school children and high school and things like that.
And that's an interesting market, because many of our children, I worked with special needs children, and I
Hmm.
worked with students in the therapeutic day schools,
Hmm.
and they need jobs when
Yes,
they graduate, and many of them can stay in school until they're 22 years old. The
yes,
end of now, the
yes,
end of that 22 years, so they're 23 years old, and
yes.
they're coming out of a high school, or maybe some skills, some vocational skills, um but they need jobs.
And you know what? That is just so important. That's one of the biggest things when I was working at the therapeutic school. I said we had no end plan for them.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have no other plan for when they graduate from high school because we knew that a lot of the children wasn't possibly going to go to college and they weren't, and we had no end game. And that's one of the things that I talked about frequent, a lot about what do we do after high school? What do we do after these things to help these kids transition into the adulthood? It's one thing to go through high school and you teach them as much as you can and try to help them cope with life as much as you can. But what happens after they don't have all that care?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Absolutely.
like, because when they're at that school, they're in your care. So they
Sure.
know that you're going to be there for them. They know you're going to do this or whatever they can to help them. But what happens afterwards?
Mm-hmm.
Because just because you 22 don't make you an adult.
That's right.
And a lot of times we didn't have an end game for that. We didn't have a continuous plan for once they graduated. And it's so great to be able to do that. I haven't really been able to hire a whole lot because the business is so small right now.
Right.
So I do what I can as much as possible as I can. But I would, that's one of the most important things to be able to help, you know, any children, but those children also too, because they
Mm-hmm.
have the hardest time. I mean, they come up here. A lot of my students, like I said, come up there and they, you know, they say, well, you know, I'm doing this or I'm doing that or I'm looking for a job or this, that, and the other, you know, and I try to give them as much resources as I can, um, or if I'm able to, you know, help them, you know, find a job or do something like that. But there's a lot of like there's a landscaping guy right next door to me, and he's always looking for some help. So
Mm-hmm.
I try to direct, you know, young students and stuff towards him, um, to help him. He's also, you know, he's black owned business. So yeah, but it's definitely
Okay.
important to have, you know, to be able to help those students, you know, because those are students out here that's out here and they
That's right.
have kids and their kids have kids, you know. So, you know, if we can kind of help those kids get through life and when they have children and things like that, you know, or these, you know, other people, and then maybe we'll be able to, you know, curve some of
Mm-hmm.
this, you know, what's going on. But when you're out here and all you know is what you've been having for the last 4 or 8 years, and now you out here trying to make yourself into an adult and never been to an interview or never been to not never even had a job, you know, that's a task for you. So there
Mm-hmm.
definitely need to be more programs for that, you know, and more black owned business where we can take in these kids and say, hey, you
That's
know,
right.
this is what we can do, and more programs to help small business like mine pay for these kids to be in there. You know,
Absolutely. I'm sure, because I'm sure that there are dollars out there
yes,
that would support that.
hmm,
And I think it's a wonderful thing that you have reached out, even in a small way. And if everybody did that, or felt a responsibility to do that, because most of us have someone with that have had some difficulties in their
hmm,
development in our families,
yes,
so I think more people need to do that. And then there's a level of training that people who are going to hire individuals with disabilities need to have,
yes,
so they can understand better how to work with them, you know, and some of them can be some great little workers,
yes,
for you, but you got to understand them and their disability, and be
that,
willing to, and like I said, I'm sure that there are dollars out here
yes.
to support that. So I
Mm.
think that's a wonderful thing that you are doing on
Well,
that
you
level.
know, yeah, well, you know, that's just like I said, through the grace of God. I mean, I was one of those children. I mean, I grew up. I had a hard time reading when I was younger. I I had a hard time. I had a hard time in grammar school. One teacher that I loved to death, she whooped my butt.
Mm-hmm.
Told me, "Hey, you're gonna read these books," and she
Mm-hmm.
set me down in her class, and she continued, you know, to push me and push
Mm-hmm.
me to read. And then in my neighborhood, you know, I was just one of them little bad boys. You know, I would, of course, I wasn't a gun person, but I was just a little but I would fight and things like that,
You're
and
getting into trouble.
getting into trouble. And I remember, you know, this one particular lady that said, I'm gonna give you this job, and it was a youth counselor. Uh, Go figure. And she said, I'm gonna give you this job now. And you know that there's some people that don't want to have you this job because they told me you're gonna mess it up. And she took a chance on me. And that one chance changed my life. That
Mm-hmm.
one chance of her taking my life, me getting my butt beat by my teacher, and that one chance she gave me to get a job. And I never wanted nobody to see me as being that bad little boy no more. Once she gave me those tools and say, hey, I trust you. I want you to do this job. You do it well. I always help you. And she continued to help me until my adulthood. And I never wanted to be that kid that, oh, here he come. You know. So after that point, I've always wanted somebody to be happy to see me.
And
And
see,
it was just,
the
mm,
most important thing was she had confidence in you, and she
yeah,
let you know that she had confidence in you,
exactly.
and you didn't want to let her down.
Exactly.
And that's all most of our children want, is somebody
Exactly.
to believe in them.
Exactly. They
Mm-hmm.
want somebody just to care. And,
Yeah,
and they know when you care. They know
that's
when
right.
you care.
That's
and
right.
that's what they want. They just want somebody consistently that cares in their life.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So you're serving as a role model. You're bringing some good activity to the community. You know, giving some students or some individuals some opportunity to work.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're a black business in our in the community. So you're circulating the dollars
Yeah.
and being a mentor. All the things that we need.
Yes, ma'am.
You're
Thank
doing it.
Yes.
You're doing it, and we're very, very appreciative of you. Now, I wanted to ask, um, who are basically your customers?
You know, a lot of the kids are, a lot of
Okay,
the adults that drop their children out. Um, uh, but yeah, there's I have a of course a lot of black customers, and I do have a I have a variety of customers, to be honest with
okay,
you.
hmm,
But most of my clients, they're on their way to work, or they're dropping their kids off at school. And then, I'm right by Longwood High School. So there's, just a slew of kids that come in every morning, just looking for something to eat, just looking for something quick to eat. And then sometimes they even drop them off just to be safe. They, they,
hmm,
they drop them off early in the morning, and they say, go stand in Poppin though until school starts. So I had some
okay,
kids coming in, they sit there and wait. And of course, I'm going to let them wait because I want them to be safe. So they'll sit there and wait until they either school opens or they get picked up in the
okay,
afternoon. So, and that's another reason. I know we can have millions of reasons why it's important to have black-owned business, because you can feel safe. They come in
hmm,
this. I mean, sometimes I don't even know who the parents are. They just say, "Go stand in Poppin' though." And they'll come and stand in there, and they'll wait till school open up, or if it's cold, they'll come stand in there. And I got a very small lobby, but I allow them to stand in there.
okay,
And as much as some people think that all those kids are terrible, they're actually pretty manageable. They come in there, they be using profanity, but I say, hey, watch them out. They be like, hey, don't be
okay,
around Mr. Poppin though. So they, it's a great feeling that you able to watch over people's children, and they feel them to be safe, in my store. And
hmm,
that's a good thing.
okay. And so your truck is usually where and what locations?
Well, right now I'm the only one that actually drives my truck.
Okay,
So get my truck out now, it has to be like a weekend. Like, I'm not doing nothing right now during the winter,
okay,
because like the employee shortage. I just got um um another employee, and she's been there maybe around about, I guess, a couple of months. So it's kind of hard because there's only like three or four. It's only three of us, actually, four.
hmm,
And so, and I run like 12 hours. Let me see, uh, 16 hours a day, something like that, 16 to 17 hours a day. So so it's kind of hard to get out and do the truck. Now I do close on Mondays, and I do get off like on a Saturday morning. So those are the days that I plan on using my truck, but mostly
hmm,
in the summer, because I don't have a whole lot of employees. I have to sometime in the summertime, I have to like close,
okay,
because for an event, I have sometimes I have somebody rent me out for the day. So sometimes
okay.
close, but I'm working on, and I'm trying to get to those programs that will allow me to get those students, and then I can just be able to keep the store open and continue to move around with the truck.
Okay, so the truck is usually you're going to a place you've been asked to come to.
Yes,
But are there certain areas that you may just go and park your truck?
yes. Well, there's a lot of places around the city. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
will go anywhere. I mean, I've been out to Humboldt Park. I've been on 63rd. Um, I'm not afraid to kind of like go different places. So I will kind of go, just where people want me. So I would definitely, just do as much as I can on the south side of Chicago, even if I will travel to the west side. So there
Okay.
will be no, until I find me some definite spots where I want to, that I'll be. And that's pretty much my plan to kind of bounce around. Now there's always a big softball league in Washington
Mm,
Park over
okay.
the summer, and
Okay.
um, that's one of the places I think that I wanted to kind of kind of stop in and see. I went over there briefly once this year,
Hmm.
um, and stopped in the park, and it was pretty it was pretty good. I didn't get the chance to get back there, but there's different places I would love to be. I would like to do some block club parties.
Okay.
They don't just have to be, somebody big event. I would love to do a block party. I would love to do
Mhm.
somebody's block club party, come out and give the kids shave ice because they love to shave ice.
I'm sure they
Um,
do.
I did a bunch of back to school things. So I did a back to school event in Inglewood at actually it was at Inglewood High School, but it was another group that threw this thing, and the neighborhood came out, and they had never had shave ice before. And
Okay.
and my line stayed long the whole day giving out shave ice. I think I might have gave out 300 to 400 shave ice,
Now,
um,
what flavors of shaved ice do you have?
well, I mean, I got the standard grape, strawberry, pink lemonade. I got and all the other flavors. We got lemon lime. We got over 30 flavors. We got lemon
Okay.
lime. We have lemon lime pie. We have strawberry cheesecake. We actually have a ice that tastes like eating a piece of strawberry cheesecake.
Oh,
Believe it.
wow.
We have strawberry cheesecake. We have mango. We have banana. We have um, um, there's one called Tiger's Blood that everybody loves.
Mm, what's in that?
It's like a coconut strawberry taste. It's really
Mm,
good. People love that Tiger's Blood.
okay.
We put cream on it. We put our little special
Wow.
cream on it. So when you get it, it looks, and we have ice cream. So ice cream flavor. So when you get it, you can get it. We put the cream on it, and it tastes just like eating some ice cream.
Oh,
And strawberry
wow.
cheesecake tastes like a piece of cheesecake. And
Wow.
I said we have like 30 some flavors of it.
So
Polar,
you have all your flavors listed there on the truck,
yeah, it's actually up on the board. So when you
on the
come into the
board,
store, you look up and you see all the listed on there.
all the different
Now, of
flavors.
course, I can't have all my flavors. You get 30 some flavors in the store, but I don't have that. I have maybe about 10 or 12 flavors on the truck.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So are you online? Do you do anything online?
Yes, well, we do we do a we do ship online and stuff like that. Um we haven't did anything where we advertise an amount to come out or anything like that, but we do ship online. We actually recently had to shut it down because we was just getting tons and
Too
tons
many
of
orders. Wow.
fraudulent things, people calling and getting their money back. So we actually had to shut it down because
Okay.
we had so many people doing fraudulent, activities where
Okay.
we would ship it out and they would call back in and say
Okay.
that. So that's definitely something they need better in place to,
Sure.
that.
Well, hey, that's all more the better for, that one-on-one, face-to-face
Yeah,
contact.
yeah,
The
yeah,
internet and all of that, has its benefits,
yes,
but
well,
it has its flaws as well.
yes, yes. It definitely has
Absolutely.
benefits.
So what are the cost of, well, first of all, tell me the flavors of your donuts again.
So we got, like I said, we got strawberry, we got lemon, we got pineapple, we got strawberry, lemon, pineapple. Um, I do a caramel vanilla that I didn't mention. I actually do a caramel popcorn donut. Just like I said, we do the German chocolate, we do the lemon, we do the strawberry. I do a strawberry lemon sometime. I do a butter pecan. I do a Jamaican rum cake, and I
Is
do
that
a
real rum in it?
no,
No?
no, I can't put real rum in it, but it's
Oh,
really
you gonna say
delicious.
you have real rum in there.
Nah, but it's really delicious. People really like.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So you have all these different flavors of donuts, and you have
Mm.
all these different flavors of popcorn, and just different. You know what you have is different. Even your shaved ice, what you have. So what are the costs of the items of your donuts and your popcorn and your shaved ice?
Well, like I said, you definitely. I mean, people that come in, they know. They look like
Hmm.
that are small. You know, we our small is 321, but
Okay,
you wouldn't believe it's a small. You'll think it's a large. Uh,
okay,
so our small is 321, our large is 421, and then we have one that's a 32. And when I
oh,
tell you 32 ounce, and it's almost as tall as the cup on top that it is in the cup.
so that's the shaved ice.
That's the shave ice. And then
Uh-huh.
plus they 158 individual. We make a lot of different donut. We make donut holes too. And
Okay.
kids and the adults and the kids love the donut holes. And those are like 7 for 169. And then we have like I said, regular donuts $1. Then I make bow ties and cinnamon rolls and stuff like that. And my apple fritters, people really, really love my apple fritters. I
Mm,
talk about my apple fritters, but
okay.
people my apple fritters, they like 550. My nachos is like 525 for a small, and I think it's 825 for a large. Um, then we have tacos. They like you get two for $6. Um,
Mm,
and then we only do turkey. We don't
okay.
do pork or beef. We just only do turkey. So we do turkey tacos and turkey nachos. And
Okay.
it has to be good because the kids know it's turkey and they eat them all day long.
And it's affordable, you know. You got a bunch of
Yeah,
children you got to feed, or different people you have to feed. I
right.
think your prices are very, very affordable.
Yes, ma'am. And then our popcorn is like it runs from 6 to 16. So our smallest bag is 6, and our largest bag is 16. I mean,
Okay.
but the bag is so big, you get a lot of popcorn in there.
Now, if you wanted just some plain popcorn with nothing on it, can you get that?
You know, we've been asked plenty of time. We only do the gourmet. I
Okay.
did I did some butter one time. I didn't like the way the butter tastes, so I've been looking for a better brand of butter. But I really, really want to get together and do a plain popcorn night
Okay.
where I just serve nothing but plain popcorn because I know a lot of people like it. So I do want to do that, and we had talked about that doing something. Well, because a lot of seniors love, just a regular
Just
popcorn.
plain popcorn.
So we
And what
talked about,
about the donut? Can you get a plain donut, or they
yeah,
all
you can get no, you can get a plain donut. We have plain
okay?
cake donuts. Most of the cakes that I mentioned, you can get them with no icing on them.
Okay.
So it'll be a plain cake donut. Oh, I do a blueberry cake too. And
Oh,
I do blueberry donut holes and I do Jamaican rum donut holes. So if you don't want a big, whole donuts, you can get 7 little small ones and stuff like that.
okay. Okay. And do you do something special during the holidays, or you just pretty much stick with your menu?
Um, Most of the time that's really when we, try to amp up like our German chocolate cake and we do a cookies and cream too. So I do a cookies and cream donut. So we try
Okay.
to, push those a lot more. We did buckets. We did buckets somewhat, but we really didn't push it as much as I think we should have.
Okay.
But we basically really try to, keep to what we true to. But most of the time we do try to amp up making more of those holiday type of deals.
Okay. So if someone were looking for your truck, they're gonna see Poppin' Donuts on the
Hmm.
truck. Is there anything else we should be looking for on the truck?
Um, just like I said, it says shave ice, and it says shave ice, popcorn, and donuts.
Hmm.
And then also we have it where you can scan and you can see what's on our menu. You can also get on our Facebook page and find out where we're gonna be. We know what
Ah,
everything is, so you'll be able to know all those things once we do, make our stations and where we're gonna be. You'll be able to look at our truck. Now, right now, our truck is not wrapped because I wanted to wait until the snow clear um,
okay.
before it get that, but I do have something on there to say, Poppin' Dough right now.
Okay, absolutely. All right. Any closing remarks,
I
Rick?
just want to thank you for this time, reaching out to me, allowing me to, be on your platform. I think this is a great thing that you're doing. Showing small businesses and showing us on our
Right.
human side, because a lot of times you see people behind you don't really know them, and
That's right.
great. This is a great way to kind of know where a person come from.
That's right. That's right.
And what some of their background is. I know
That's
sometimes
right.
they think that they see you with a store and you came from, you know, money or something like that. But a lot of
Mm-hmm.
us come from humble beginnings,
That's
and I
right.
real humble beginnings. Seven
Right.
seven kids in a 3-bedroom house,
Oh, wow.
apartment, not a house. So we come from humble beginnings, and we just want to just give back. I want to like I say, those two ladies, they helped me change my character.
Absolutely.
I just like to change my character and change my life, and
Mm-hmm.
all I want to do is try to do good for people and help as many people as I can and give them great service. And that's one
That's
thing
right.
we try to build our business on, giving people great service.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you are a wonderful addition to our community. And I am so proud of what you are doing and how creative you are. And you and your wife are working together. I mean, you just, presenting a lot of good role model out
Yes,
here is what you're doing, a lot of good service. And so I want to thank you for doing what you're doing. And I want to thank you for coming to this podcast. And what is your website and your address again?
it's Poppin' Dough. It's Poppin' Dough at poppindough@gmail.com. No, that's my. I'm kind of a little bit behind. It's poppindough.com is our website.
Okay.
We're on Facebook and we're on Instagram or something else. I don't really know. I'm kind of like behind times, like I said. When it
Okay.
comes to a lot of those things, I'm working on it though. They
Okay.
trying to get me to do a post, a Facebook post every day. I'm
Okay.
working, but
Okay.
you can definitely find us on the website and on Facebook and stuff like that to kind of
Hmm.
know what's going on and different things like that.
And then your address.
My address is 1235 West 95th Street. It's easier to say 95th and Elizabeth. It's right on the
Okay.
corner, right next to Family Dollar, as everybody knows. And you'll miss it. If you blink
Okay.
your eye, because my store is small, you blink your
Okay.
eye, you go past it. So
Okay.
you really, really have to be looking.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. Well, family, this has been wonderful talking to Rick at Poppin' Donuts tonight. Please support this establishment and also go to our website at rrgbc.org, ASA Books. Um, there are book representatives for the month, and we have 4 books that we're giving away. All you have to do is go to our website and subscribe, and you can also make donations at rrgbc.org and just follow some of the things that we're doing. So, again, Rick, I want to thank you for coming tonight, and everyone have a